So in our today's math lesson, we are basically going to talk about these simple evaluation questions. So most of the time we are faced with these evaluation questions, and most of the times we mix the concepts. When you are given multiplication and addition, how you approach such questions is always different. But most of the times we find challenges and we end up mixing the concepts. So one of the rules for indices, it tells us to say, when you are multiplying the same bases, when you are multiplying numbers with the same bases, the powers, you're supposed to add them. So meaning you are going to say this is a to the power of n plus m. So this rule is only applicable when you are multiplying. But when you are told to add, for example, you are given this one plus this one here, meaning this one you evaluate it on its own, also this one you are going to evaluate it on its own, then you now put them together. So if you are having an addition sign in between here, there is no need for you to follow this. This rule is only applicable when you are multiplying numbers with the same base. So like for example, the first example we are having there are two methods that you can, even more methods that you can use to solve the first question, where we are given to say 4 to the power of negative 2 multiplied by 4 to the power of 2. So as we can see here, the base is what? The same. So what are we going to do to the powers? We are going to follow this rule here, which tells us to say, if the bases are the same, the powers you add them. So we are going to say this is 4 to the power of what? Negative 2. Then this is plus positive 2. So we've just gotten the powers and then we've added them together. So this is going to give us 4 to the power of negative 2 plus 2. We are going to get 0. So under indices again, we know to say when you're given any number raised to the power 0, the answer there is always 1. As long as this number that you are given is not 0. As long as the number that you are given is not 0. But any other number that you are given to the power 0, it is always going to give you a 1. So meaning here we can conclude by saying, our 4 raised to the power 0, it is going to be what? 1. But now, some people in evaluating such questions might not want to follow this procedure where you follow indices or whatnot. They might just want to go direct. So in that case, when you want to go direct, you can evaluate them like that. If we go back to indices again, indices, they tell us to say, when you are given a number that is raised to a negative power, this simply means you are having this is an inverse. But basically in the mathematics that we mostly learn, we just say, the negative is going to become 1 over. Then the base and the power now becomes positive. But what this means basically is that this negative, when there is a negative here, meaning it is standing for the inverse. So meaning we are talking about the inverse of this base, which is basically that one that we are having there. So under method 2, you can simply say, using that knowledge there, we know to say this is raised to a negative power. So meaning we are going to say this is 1 over 4, then now the power becomes positive, meaning the inverse of that one that we are having is going to be that one there. Then we are going to multiply this one with what? 4 to the power of 2. So if we evaluate this one, we are going to get 1 over 4 to the power 2 means 4 times 4. Then this is going to multiply again 4 times 4. So basically 4 to the power 2, which means we are multiplying 4 by itself 2 times. If we continue from there, we are going to have 1 over 4 times 4, we get 16. Then this will multiply 4 times 4, we get 16. So 1 times 16, we get 16 over 16. 16 into 16, we are getting 1. So whether you use this approach or you use this approach, the answer is still going to be the same. But now, What of if we are given now something different? Like our second example that we're having. So our second example is 3 to the power of negative 2 plus 3 to the power of what? 2. So here, this question is different. How? Because here now there is addition. So addition simply means whatever is this side, you're going to evaluate it alone. Also, what is this side, you're going to evaluate it alone. Then after you do the evaluation, then you put the two numbers together. So if we look at this one that we are having, following this row here again for the inverse, this one there, we are going to say this is the same as 1 over 3 to the power of 2. Then this is plus 3 to the power of 2. So following our previous example, we know to say this simply means you are multiplying 3 by itself 2 times. So we are going to get 1 over 3 times 3, we get 9. Then this is plus 3 times 3 again, we get 9. So if we go back to grade 5, in grade 5 they taught us to say when you're seeing a number like this, we know to say this is the same as putting a 1 down there. Then now we find the common denominator, which is 9. So 9 into 9, we get 1. 1 times 1, we get 1. Plus 1 into 9, we get 9. 9 times 9, we get 81. 81. So this will be equivalent to, what is 1 plus 81? We get 82 over 9. If you want, you can take this one into a mixed fraction, which is going to give you 9 into 82. We are going to get 9. Then remainder 1 upon 9. This is going to be your answer. So the mistake that you are not supposed to make here is the mistake that we mostly make of following this row here when you are given addition here. So when you are given addition, evaluate them separately and then put them together. If you are given multiplication, that's why now you can say you can either add the powers or you evaluate them separately and then you multiply them at the end. Otherwise, that's all that we had for you today. Make sure to tune in next time as we are going to evaluate more questions concerning the same.